Hey y'all, we is back. We got Miss Jarnetta in the house. Miss Jarnetta in the house. If you worked at Walmart with us, you know this face, but you don't know her. Okay, you don't know this
No.
new her. Okay. Um, I just want to thank y'all first and foremost for all the encouraging messages that I've been receiving. Y'all have no idea. I had no idea that I was gonna say that. And y'all don't know how much that y'all are blessing me by responding to the video and watching it and encouraging me, because that was really hard for me to do. But I follow God. So whatever he say is what I do. And that's just period. But I'm gonna let Miss Jarnetta introduce y'all to the new her, and we're gonna get into some
Pretty
stuff.
much.
That's more
Pretty
like it. I
much.
forgot the name of the show. This is That's More Like It, where we bring you true, real testimony. And so we got Miss Jarnetta here. Introduce yourself.
So I am Jarnetta Charmaine Maccabee, and my life has did a 360, I would say a 100-degree turn for the better. Um, if anybody knows me, knows that I do keep it real. Um, she asked me what I wanted to talk about, and I want to talk about forgiveness. My whole life, I hated a lot of people, and I'm just gonna get right to it. Um, if you are the type of person that can't let things go, you can't forgive. If you are the type of person that says, I forgive you, but I won't forget, you still have not forgiven. And it took me 20, 30, 40, 50, 40 years, 40 years to forgive my family, myself, my kids. Yes, my kids. For a lot of hurt and pain. And it's been a lot of pain. It took me to come to evolve. It took for Somalia to be honest with me. And I had to ask her, what do you see on me? And she said, I saw unforgiveness. And I was the type that walked around with a smile, a mask, showed my teeth, hugged, and I would hug people just to show I kind of sort of liked them, but then I really didn't like them, but I didn't want people to ask me how I was doing
Hmm.
because I really hurt it on the inside. Um, and I'm gonna start with my family first. I was in foster care. My mother was on drugs for a long time. Gave me up. There was some molestation going on. There was some drug addiction going on. There was some fighting going on. And I went to foster care at 7 years old. Um, lived in Elgin, Illinois. Went to an Audie home. And I hated her. Wish she was dead. When people would ask me where was my mother at, I said she was dead. Because you kept my sister and my brother. That's what I would say. Well, times went on. I lived my life. 18 years old. Um, End up getting raped. Fought all my life. I blamed her for everything that happened to me. From the drug addictions, from the rape, from me having problems with men, um, me having my kids out of rape, everything that I said happened in my life, I blamed her. Because if you had kept me, this was my thinking. If you had kept me, I wouldn't have been going through it. Well, I met up with her again when I was 22. Searched for her, talked to her on the phone, feeling still wasn't there. Thought I was going to be excited. Left. Kids was like 5. I still hated her. Because in my mind, you still should have had me.
Yeah.
And I still hated her. Wasn't in church at the time. Came back to Milwaukee. After I left her, I was hooked on drugs. Because she didn't show me the love I thought she should have showed me. So I blame me being on cocaine on her.
Wow.
Because she didn't show me the love that I needed. Why didn't you embrace me and I was in foster care all that time? And why you didn't love me and I was in foster care? Why you didn't come back and get me? But you kept my sister and my brother. Went on through life having sex with multiple men. I'ma hurt people the way that I was hurt. So when that saying came out that hurt people, it was me. I was hurting people. I wouldn't want to be in no true relationship because I'ma hurt anybody that come in my path. I'm gonna hurt because she hurt me, and because that man hurt me, and that person raped me, and didn't nobody love me. So I'm not gonna love nobody. Well, I end up being strung out so bad that I fell out, ended up in a cocaine coma, and ended up going to rehab. I have a set of twin boys. One of my boys ended up doing 20 years. He's still locked up. End up committing a sex crime. This is hurt people hurting people. That's because his mama hurt, so I'm going to hurt somebody else.
Wow.
I hated my son. I never thought that you can hate your child. So now I'm in the situation where I was delivered from drugs, but then I went on to another situation where I was delivered from drugs, but now I turned that delivering from drugs into hating my son because of something that he did. So I didn't go see him for like about three and a half years before he was, after he was locked up. And I was embarrassed. I was riding on the bus and I can remember hearing some people say, You heard about that boy that sexually assaulted that woman, and they was talking on the bus, and the lady said, yeah, she was probably strung out on drugs. Ain't no telling what was wrong with her, but I wasn't. I was working at Walmart.
Wow.
I was working at Walmart, and I was not strung out on drugs then, but just the fact that people will perceive you to be something that you're not, and that tore me down. I went into a state of depression, wanted to just straight kill myself because how can I go from not loving my mother but now hating my son because of something that he did and not wanting to talk to him, not wanting to be around him. And now I still got my other son who was out. Mama, how could you not love your son and he gonna need you? I didn't care. He committed a sex crime and he knew what happened to me.
Mm.
But I wasn't thinking about nobody else. I was thinking about how did he commit that sex crime and he knew what happened to his mama years ago. So my dear old sister and my dear old mama at the time basically told me, your son made a bed. He needs to lie in it. When my other son got shot on 26th and Burleigh, you don't do nothing but raise criminals. This is how my family is talking to me. Anybody who knows me knows I didn't talk about my family much. And I still hated them. I was not a hugger until after I accepted the fact 2020 when I was watching Pastor Locke and he said, didn't know that y'all was down the street from me because I was on 83rd
Mm-hmm.
in Elizabeth and did not know y'all was right down the street from me. And I ended up watching y'all and I said, Pastor Locke said, you cannot keep letting your family's trials and tribulations be a burden on you and saying that the generational curses that your family go through, that does not have to be you. I'm a Maccabee. I'm mean. I'm tough. I can fight. I'll cut up. I'll do this. I'll do that. That was my whole life. Because the first thing my son would say when he get drunk, Mama, remember when you kicked that chick Doe in on 22nd Street and you was hanging her off the balcony? Remember you was fighting and you was choking her and you pulled her hair out?
Mm-mm.
Remember all the knives you had? Remember you stabbed this person and you did this and everything. When he get drunk, he will remember all that.
Mm-mm.
Remember we was on 24th in Monroe and you was fighting with us? Remember you was on 26th and Berlin, you was fighting with us. Remember you was the only one that went to jail though, Ma? Oh yeah. Sister Jarnetta wasn't always Sister Jarnetta.
Okay. That's crazy.
So when I would hear him up there and he'd say, "Yeah, I'm from the zoo and I'm from 20," and I think back and I say, I sure thank God I'm not that person anymore. And then I go back to saying, I'm so glad I learned how to forgive because I had to go back and tell my son that I forgive you for sexually assaulting that woman. I forgive the person that raped me. I forgive the person that cut my face open. I forgive my son for choosing other people over me. And first of all, I have to forgive myself for the things that happened with my mother because that was not my fault. So while I was sitting in the church and he said, while you sitting around acting upset because you felt like you should have been at home and while you were not raised with your family, you need to be thanking God that you was not with your family. And I sat there for a minute at Vincent, and then I turned this way, and I bit my lip, then I turned the other way, and then I couldn't get comfortable, because all this time, I was so upset that she didn't have me at home. But then, the Holy Spirit said, you didn't even want to go back home. When the Lord told you to go back home and take care of your mama. I told the Lord no because my mother was so mean to me before she died. But I still went back. She was dying. And my sister and my brother, they didn't like me, but they called me and said, can I come back and help? Because mama was passing away and she had Alzheimer's. I said yes on the phone, but then when I hung the phone up, I said I didn't want to go back. Them people don't like me, is what I kept saying to the Lord. They can't stand me. Every time I call mama, it was, your sister doing this, she going to nursing school. She doing better than she doing better. She doing better than anybody I know. She passing her tests and doing all this, and her kids ain't never been no trouble. By the way, my kids was already had one in prison, and the one had 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Her kids ain't did nothing wrong. I got tired of hearing it.
Yeah.
I dealt with it. I went back. I bathe her. I comb her hair. I love on her. Then it started. That's all you good for is wiping my butt. But she didn't say but. My sister and my brother. You coming in this house trying to change us. Because everybody had quit going to church. They used to all go to church. At that time, I was at Ephesians with Pastor Ty. He said, if the Lord is telling you to go back, you need to go. And you have to be obedient. If you're not obedient, you're going to find out what's going to happen. So please be obedient and do what the Lord told you to do. And I left and I went. And it was, it was awful. It was awful. So then I started back smoking weed. I started back drinking. Started back having sex. Because I'm looking for love again. Here I go searching. My grandson, love of my life. Before my mama passed, his mama and my son end up getting locked up. And CPS ended up calling me to come back to Milwaukee to come and get him. I flew back. I'm not gonna tell you. I flew back. I was in a hurry. I caught the next train smoking. My brother was upset. You leaving me here with mama by myself? At that time my sister had passed.
Wow.
47 years old from a heart attack.
Wow.
Robert Earl was mad because I left him. And now you gotta take care of mama with your wife. You leave me here by myself? I gotta stay here with her. But see, wasn't nobody really talking to me while I was there, so you can stay with her and them. So I get back here and I get custody of Domain, and when I tell you the Holy Spirit put a fire inside of me, oh, everything changed. Everything that I used to be as a child was in Domain. Foster care, the abuse, him not being with his parents, him being in the Audi home. When I tell you I was looking at myself again and didn't know it, I said, Lord, I might not have been the best parent, but you are giving me, why is you giving me another child to raise when I didn't do it right the first time? When I was out there getting high and doing what I was doing with my kids, you giving me somebody else's child to raise again? And I messed up the first time. I was scared to death. I was scared. Dermaine saw me. He didn't know me because his mama didn't let him know me because she couldn't stand me. Because I come off as, I would always come off to people as rough, critical, and judgmental.
Wow. Those words. Those
And I
words.
was.
Those words I get a lot.
And I was. I was. And you better stop doing that. And if you don't stop doing that, this gonna happen to you. And you better stop. And twin, why you got this girl in your house and you gonna end up getting pregnant? I wouldn't sugarcoat nothing. If you don't, why you move this girl in your house and you know this girl got kids? I know this girl got some more kids. And come to find out the child had 8 kids. Ma, you always being judgmental. She ain't got no more kids. Twin, yes she do, twin. How she sat up there with 2 kids and she had 8 kids. But she couldn't stand. Because she already knew I knew. So there we have it. She couldn't stand. So she took the rein and she ran from me. But I still came back. Because we already knew that was my grandson. I want a blood test. You not getting no blood test. We going to have blood test. Because I want a blood test. Because we not finna do this. We not finna do this. So twin. Okay, mom. Because it's the first time. So I'm going to tell y'all now. Look. I'm not trying to be funny. If y'all got boys. But that's why it's good to listen to the Lord. Please listen to the Lord. If we do what we're supposed to, we're not going to have these problems. I'm going to say that real calm. Because I had to learn a lot. And that's why I only had a set of twins. And I ain't got no more kids. I'm done. That's it. 54. Only a set of twin boys. And I'm done. So, Dermaine moved in. I had to go to the school. He was going to 21st Street School. He moved in the house. He was so mean. I got to move with this old lady. Dermaine had 10 siblings at the time. So he had to leave from foster care to come and move with me. And he didn't like it, which I can understand. God is teaching me to love all over again. Come on, Dermaine. It took him a year to say he loved me. And I would question God. Why is it taking him so long to say he loved me? But I'm his grandma. Why don't he love me? Why didn't I love my mama?
Mm.
Why didn't I love my kids? I wasn't perfect. His parents weren't perfect. Why did it take so long for him to say that he loved his granny? Because he didn't understand me. He didn't know me. And he had to get to know me. You ready? Why did I not love my kids like I was supposed to? Because I was out there getting high. I didn't love them correctly because I didn't know them because I was out there getting high.
Mm.
And number 3, I didn't love myself enough to love them because I was out there getting high. See, when the Holy Spirit works in you, he will, the questions that you have for him, for the Holy Spirit, not of him because it's a spirit. When you have these questions, the Holy Spirit will give it to you. It may not be when you ask. It may be 3 years later. And you'll be sitting there like, now that's why that happened. My mama said to me, the reason why she was sick and dying at 60 is because she treated me wrong. And I said to her, no, it's not. I said, Mama, I forgave you a long time ago. I said, Mama, you were ordained as a reverend. Why do you feel like the Lord punished you? Because I let all that stuff happen to you under my roof and I did nothing about it. I said, Mama, you were sick. You did what you could with the mind that you had. I didn't understand that at that time. All I knew was you carried a title as Mama. Just like I carried the title as Mama. And I was supposed to do better with my kids. But I did what I could with the mind that I had with my kids. Their main parents did what they could. So Jermaine, after he moved with me, kept walking around saying, when people say, where's your mom? She dead. And I heard it. I said, oh no, we not finna do that.
Wow.
I said, who told you your mama was dead? Jermaine. Because she not here. She left me. Who used to say that? Who did I just say said that about their mama?
You. You did.
Yeah. He never heard me say that.
The devil is a liar.
The devil is a big, fat, nasty lie. Because you're not finna start that. Oh, no. Your mama ain't dead. Your mama is just not well right now. But she ain't dead. I went in the room and I cried. I said, oh, my God. Jermaine went in the room and he played with his toys. He put a stick. We got our first apartment on 23rd and Wright. He put a 2x4 under the door and jammed it. I said, why you putting a stick under the door, Jermaine? I don't want nobody coming in here while we sleep. I said, who gonna come in here while we sleep? Trust issues. Because of what had happened to him when he was in foster care.
Mm.
Years went past. We found out Jermaine had aggression issues. He fought all the time. So he ended up going to, I don't know if you know Deshaun Beck that's in the choir. When I tell you, he was at Cross Trainers that's on Center. Uh, Deshaun Beck is in the choir. He's little, little stocky. He stands behind, I don't know their names, but I'll show them to you.
I think I know who you're talking about. He
He got a
came.
twin.
He came not too long ago.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, and he joined right
That
before I left. He was like one of the first new ones before they got this flood of new people that they just
That's how
got.
I ended up joining the church.
Okay.
He the one. So he was Jermaine's go-to. Jermaine would go to him and talk to him, and he was the only one really that can calm Jermaine down. Great with kids. Great
Wow.
with kids. Uh, Sister Jarnetta, Jermaine would do this and Jermaine would do that. Okay, well, since Jermaine doing all this fighting, guess what we gonna do? We gonna sign Jermaine up for football. We gonna sign Jermaine up for basketball. Did a wonderful job. went to Milwaukee Excellence. Now he started with a 2.0, got all the way up to a 4.0 when he was in when COVID started, and they had to do so. He basically had to be not around a bunch of kids because he get distracted. But he did
Mhm.
a 2.0 and got up to a 4.0 and did a wonderful job. When I tell you I was impressed, I was super impressed. And all this was while I was on the cane. I had my first surgery. Uh, Dermaine is more like a protector. So after I saw that, I said, Dermaine, why was you saying that your mama was gone? Cause she hate me, and if she loved me, Grandma, she would keep me like you kept me. I said, no, we not gonna say that. So I told them, I say, remember I told you that I was in foster care one time, and I wasn't with my mama. He was like, yeah. I said, so you know your mama gonna come back and get you, right? You're not gonna be with me all your life. She just she's sick right now, and she just needs some help. And all your all you and your seven brothers gonna be together, and your sisters. I said, you gonna be back with your mama. I said, Jermaine, you have to learn how to forgive her. She don't forgive me. I said, well, Jermaine, you never did nothing to her. You think you did something to her? So when
Mhm.
kids have the anger problems and the discipline problems, they often think that it's them that caused it. And it's not them. He thought that the reason why my son, who was running back and forth to jail and wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing, and his mama, he thought it was him. And it wasn't him. So he blamed himself. It was me. I did it. Same thing I used to do.
Same thing, guys. Wow.
Forgiveness, people think, is just, I'm just going to forgive them and then we going to be all right. But it's not that easy. It's not that easy. Dermaine saw, after he went to go live with his dad for 6 months, and my son couldn't gather in his head that what he did to his son was mentally abusive because you left your son with your mama to go live with somebody else. He wants to know why he couldn't go. And that hurt him. So he, in his mind, he thinking it was something wrong with him. When a boy, I can raise you and tell you that I love you as a female, but it takes a man to raise a boy. I was one of those people, and women, stop saying that. That is annoying to me. I'm the mama and the daddy. That is annoying. It irritates my whole spirit. You are not the daddy. You will never be a daddy. You cannot be a daddy. You can provide for the child, but you will never be a mama and a daddy. You will be the mother. Stop pulling these fathers away from these kids. No, the fathers are not perfect. But if you constantly keep throwing these men in jail, if you constantly keep saying what they're not doing, but you out doing the same thing, you're not helping the situation. And that irritates me to my core. Because I had to keep telling the baby mamas how you get mad at the fathers when y'all out doing the same thing. So my son would get upset at me because I wouldn't let Dwayne go live with them. Well, y'all house is in an uproar. Y'all fighting. When Dwayne came to live with me, I had to stop smoking cigarettes. I had to stop smoking weed. I had to quit going out. Literally. I got rid of my man because I had found out what was going on with my grandson and what people have been doing to him. So guess what? Sacrifice, 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 sacrifice. There was no more for me. I'm going to be happy another time. But for now, in order to get his mind right, I had to make sure that he was taken care of. God knew what he was doing. I know how to sit you down.
Mm. No, seriously.
On everything I love, I know how to sit you down. Okay, so you want to keep going back and forth, smoking and drinking? Because you said somebody did something to you or somebody said this to you? Or, okay, go get your grandson. Because he knew what was going to sit me down. And that was them kids. Yeah, you did it by yourself. Just that little time. But once Jermaine came into my life, and then right after Jermaine was Evolved, the Lord came first, Jermaine, then Evolved. And I'm going to say, you know how people say I ain't been right ever since? No, I've been right ever
No,
since.
for real. You had to say that, Miss Jarnetta.
In that order, I've been right ever since.
Been right ever since.
Ever since. Don't come to me with no don't think I'm finna okay no mess, cause I'm not finna okay no mess.
And not.
No, I'm not finna do it. And I love people. And I always wasn't a hugger. I'ma just say this, if you are gonna forgive, just don't play with God. Because if you say you're gonna forgive, if you want your heart right and you tired of going back and forth, I got tired of being hurt. I got tired of my heart hurting. And I got tired of treating people like crap. Because that hurts. Once I stopped treating people like dirt and fighting and doing what I wanted, I was able to forgive a whole lot quicker. So when people
Mm.
would do me wrong, guess what? I could blow it off and keep on going. And it actually meant that I forgave them. I just went through that at the church. Somebody walked up to me and said, "You remember a such and such at the and I stood up and I started crying and I looked at her. She said, "You might remember the time when you was laying in the bed and you got pistol whipped." And I turned around and looked at her, and my uncle ran out the bed and jumped out the second story window, and you was laying in the bed bleeding, and you had to get them stitches, and you got, yeah, oh yeah, I got my head busted several times.
No, it's the it ain't
Girl,
that.
look,
It's the fact that she walked up to you and said
it
that.
was that was the only way I was gonna remember because I had blocked it out.
Wow.
I had blocked it out, and I wanted to run out of Evolve. We was at Vincent,
Wow.
and I wanted to run and you will never guess what the sermon was about.
What was it about, Miss Jarnetta?
Forgiveness.
Cause man, Holy Spirit be knowing, man.
Forgiveness. And she said, "I am sorry for bringing this up at church." And I said, "No, don't be sorry. Because evidently I have not forgave that person."
Come on.
I said, "No, don't be sorry. Because evidently I haven't forgave everybody that was involved." And I didn't. I didn't. Girl, yeah. Said right there, I was about to run out the church like a toddler. I was I went in the bathroom and I cried. Ooh, and I mean snot, tears, everything. I was just I was a man. And then as soon as I got in the church, Pastor Locke said, "We're gonna be talking about forgiveness." And I screamed. I screamed. I stood up and I screamed. And I just yelled across the church. At Vincent. So that was forgiving that situation. That was forgiving my mama, my sister, my brother, my kid. If I mean everybody that ever did something to me wrong. Cause I was holding so much. And I was coming in that church searching for someone and something that would make me forget everything that ever happened bad to me. All the way back to the non-foster homes, to the Audie homes, everything that ever happened to me, I wanted to forget it.
Can you break down what an Audie home is?
An Audie home is when it's a bunch of bad kids that's living in one home. So if you have a duplex, we lived in a duplex, and it was maybe like 8 kids in an Audie home, and we were bad. We were,
Wow.
and it was social work. It was counselors that came in and did shifts. So you might have 3, 4 adults that lived in that house.
Wow, I never heard of that before.
Yeah. And I had a Chinese sister. I had a Turkish brother. I had a Mexican. That's why I'm so people will people will ask me like, "You listen to," well, they would call it white folks music. I listen to everybody music because that's how I was brought up. I don't care. I listen to K Love gospel. I listen to everybody gospel. If I can understand Spanish, I'll be on their station too. It don't matter to me. That's just how I was brought up. And so when I went back to my family and they saw me, they was like, my sister would make the joke, like, my mama must have found you, mama must have found you in the garbage can, because you're not one of us. It would hurt my feelings, but I would turn around and be like, yep, because I am nothing like y'all.
Mm,
Because I am not hateful. And I'm ain't. I'm not at all. But then after the Lord started peeling, you got a banana,
come
and he
on.
started peeling them layers, and he started peeling the hate, the anger, the you not loving nobody, and the despite. I mean, I was the type of person. I'm no hugger. Never used to hug people. Don't touch me.
Me either.
Don't touch me. I don't want you to touch me.
My little sister tell you today she used to kiss me on my cheek and I'll slap
Ooh,
her.
no.
It made me
Especially from
feel
another woman.
icky.
I didn't want other women to touch me because I didn't want other women to think I was gay.
Really?
Yes. I did not want nobody to touch me until I got to Walmart.
Wow.
And you know who showed me more love than anybody?
Who?
Queena, Latasha. Um, remember Queen and Tasha?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Queen and Latasha, they lived an alternative lifestyle. And I do not like to say the other word. They lived an alternative lifestyle and they showed me so much love and they were the sweetest people in the whole wide world. Um, they was like, come here. They worked at the money center at Midtown. Queen had I don't have Facebook no more. I've been took myself off of there. But Latasha passed away. Natasha.
Oh
She passed
wow.
away. Yeah. That was her girlfriend. She passed away.
Oh man.
Yeah, and we loved her so, so, so much.
They probably y'all. I know y'all was all there before I got there.
Mm-hmm.
I was only there for like
You know
it probably was like
Delisha
9 months
Bell?
before it closed. Yeah.
Ask her to pull her picture up. She may know her.
Okay.
Yeah, ask her to pull
I
her
don't know if I'm
picture up.
still. No, I think I knew Donisha because they
Yeah,
were sisters,
sisters,
right?
yeah.
I knew the younger one. I ain't know the older one
Yes,
like that.
girl, yes. They showed me so much love when I was there. And I did, but that was my own, me being closed minded. And I didn't want people to touch me. And I was like, mm-mm. But then I go to Chicago and my cousin named Robert Earl, everybody in our family named Robert Earl, oh my God. I walked into the store. Cousin, you look like a Maccabee. And that's what he was saying. He put his hand on his hip, girl. Oh my God, I love to death. He put his hand on his, you look like a Maccabee. And he'll walk up to me and he'll walk around in a circle and he'll just touch me. And that's what the Lord said. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you about being judgmental. Stop that. Stop being judgmental. I'm going to tell you what God loves. Stop being judgmental. Because the same people that you judging is the same people you going to end up needing later on. Stop being judgmental. I'm just saying, the same people that we talk about,
No, for real.
and I'm just being honest, because he put me right in the midst of all of my alternative lifestyle individual, the family members. So the same ones that I was on Facebook with in my own family couldn't stand them. I didn't judge them. I loved them. I was at their house and then they end up moving up here. They end up coming up here. When our pastor said, don't frown up at people that come to the church smelling like weed and alcohol, and you see someone that come into church that's living an alternative lifestyle or that even may be transgender, we're not supposed to turn our nose up at people. That's not love God, love people, love ourselves. Because if we go and do something that's not right, do you want somebody turning your nose up at you? No.
Everybody love. Everybody want to talk about grace, so it's time to give it.
I promise you. And I love people. So when mama passed, and my sister passed, we was at the funeral, and I stood over Mama's funeral. I mean, over her casket, and I said, "As God is my witness, I forgive you." When my sister passed, I stood over her casket, and I said, "As God is my witness, I forgive you." I had to say it to believe it, but then when I got here with Evolve, and it was a process for me because my kids were next, and then I was next. You can't hate people. You can't hate yourself. Forgive yourself. Stop beating yourself up. Yesterday at my job, I was told that I was too emotional. And I listened. And the first thing that came to my mind was it was because of things that happened in my past. But I have to learn how to take constructive criticism. Either I'm going to let that help me or let it hurt me. And I'm going to let it help me. And I understood what she said when she said sometimes some people don't want to be touched. Because remember, I said just a few minutes ago, I didn't like for people to touch me. So I have to realize everybody don't want to be touched. So I have to understand that. And I have to take that in. Forgiving part is I have to go to work tomorrow and know that I understood what they meant and I forgave them for what they said. Because some people will be like, they just they just don't like me. They don't know me. God knows me. And God wants me at this job. My pastor say I got an assignment.
Come on, assignment.
The Lord say, I'm going to put you where you need it. And I say, I accept. So that's how we going to do that.
Come on, Miss Jarnetta.
Forgive. Please forget and
Selective.
accept your assignment. And remember, it's going to be a process.
Selective amnesia.
Let go, let God, and keep moving. That's it. That's all you got to do. And you too can do your 360. And that's 100. And did. And did.
Oh my God.
Because we ain't got time to be arguing with nobody.
Hey, I ain't gotta argue with
I ain't
you.
got to argue with you
You mad.
at nothing.
Wow.
And that's it.
Listen, you just helped me in ways that you don't even understand, Miss
We got to
Jarnetta.
keep going.
You really
When I
just,
walked in Evolve and saw y'all, that just did something to me.
man, I remember seeing you walking up from the car at the studio. I'm like, Miss Jarnetta? Oh, it's a family
Girl, I was
affair.
like,
I was so happy
look
to
at
see
everybody.
you. I was so happy to see you, and then we got the chance to talk a bunch of times, and you always had me
Yeah, especially at the
crying.
picnic.
You had me crying. I feel like every time I talk to you, you had me crying.
One thing about Evolve is I'm going to say this. The younger folks do not mind talking to the older. And that's one thing I love about Evolve too.
We want to hear from y'all.
And we want to hear from y'all.
we need we need y'all. A lot of people, they be in I know everything,
No.
but it's a lot of stuff I don't know, and I want to learn it. I want to hear it.
Mm-mm.
I want to know what I don't know. Like y'all have a lot of wisdom. When the Bible say the older women are supposed to teach the young women, where they come on,
Now
mamas.
some of us be stuck in our ways and don't want to listen. But then that's why every time we have an evolving minds, I'm sitting in there because I was a late comer coming to church. I really didn't start till my 30s. You have some people that been in church all their life, and I didn't start till late because I didn't know. I was, when I was in Illinois, we didn't. Even though my mama was this. That song she hated that song, Donnie McClurkin, We Fall Down and We Get Up. She said, you fall down, you're not getting back up. That's what she did not want me to play that song in her house.
What? Not you fall down, you ain't getting back up.
She said, you're not getting back up. Don't play that in my house. She hated that song.
She said, don't even fall.
Mm-mm. That's what she said. Do not fall. Stay down. Sit down. That's what she say.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. And I say, Mama, who told you that? Because that is not a scripture.
No, it's not.
I don't know who told. No, that's not. No,
Yeah,
no.
we definitely. I was just telling somebody about you the other day, telling them like how I kind of figured that you was a late starter when it came to church, and so you willing to listen and you willing to talk. You willing to sit and
Yeah.
talk, not to teach, but just to talk. I like we done had
Mm-mm.
some real good conversations, and
I had somebody
it
tell
really opened
me
my eyes.
that I was judgmental, and that's how I found out I was being judgmental.
Really,
Yeah, somebody told me in my face.
me too.
They sure did.
Me too. My husband.
See, and somebody who was close to me told me I was judgmental.
Over critical, over spiritual. Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't never heard of a spiritual because I, I just heard you could be a judge a bit judgmental. Well, not a bit, just a lot of judgmental sometimes,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, me,
Yeah.
but I had to listen.
And it's because like when I do be judgmental, I mean well. I really do. It's because I love you and I want to see you do better. But I'm learning that everybody don't need to be taught. Some people just want to talk. I ain't gotta try to teach them something every time. I understand I'm a
Hmm.
teacher, but I don't gotta teach all
Yeah,
the time.
see,
Some people just want to be my friend and just want to talk to me.
and I have to realize some people just want me to listen, and that I'm learning that. So even while they talking to me, I have to stop myself, like, shut up, don't say nothing, don't come back with nothing, just shut up and listen.
Yeah,
And I'm learning that.
same. It's funny when God told me to do this. I'm like, Lord, I don't even know how to listen. You want me to listen to people tell their testimony? Like, I don't even know how to listen without responding. And you want me to sit and listen. And that is what I believe and I know that is what this is going to teach me to do. I don't got to teach all the time.
But you still teaching though.
Yeah, y'all teach though. I'm just
But you
chilling.
teaching us to come up out of our comfort zone. Because some people don't know how to be do stuff in a way where it's like you asked me. That's why I got these zits on my. I got Z here and a Z here because I was nervous. These
Really?
nervous girl. Yeah, I was at home like, what's she finna ask me? What's she finna talk about? I got a whole bump and a whole bump, and then I got another bump somewhere, and I was like, what's she finna talk about? It's like I ain't seen no zit in like 40 years. And I brushed my teeth this morning like, Lord, what's she finna talk about? So then I was sitting here and I was like, oh God, the bump finna get bigger. So then I said forgiveness. I'm gonna talk about something that it took me years. It took me years. So now I don't I don't even. Yesterday just showed that it was over. I can go to work tomorrow and still work without being angry and mad and they just don't want me to work. Or I ain't never been a type of person that people hating on me. I ain't never did that. I don't ever do all that. That's childish. But mm-mm. I mean, I haven't talked to my brother. I've tried, but I have to learn too that hey, if people don't want to be bothered, I can't push the issue.
Yeah.
There's nothing that we can do. Do we get upset? I tried. I drove 3 hours for him to sit in his room. That's when I knew it
Oh,
was. I'm not gonna keep pushing it.
yeah.
He let his baby come out the room and play with me, and that was it. And then he never came out. So I kept it moving. But you know, he said he only had one sister. He really has two. It's me and Nina, and she gone. And that's because I wasn't raised with them. That wasn't my fault. I can't keep apologizing. You can't keep apologizing all your life for things that you had no control over. You can't keep, how should I say this? If things happened to you like 40 years ago, pray about it and keep moving. Stop letting that stuff bound you. It's tearing your life up. It tore my whole life up. I didn't have good relationships at all. And that's friendships, that's relationships with men because I had no trust issue. I had trust issues and I hated people and I didn't trust people. All that stuff because of the past. Your past will tear you up
Mm,
if you
mm.
don't deal with it. That unforgiveness and past is all in the same. It's all in the same. It's all in the same. It walks the same. And it does the same. It destroys you.
Yeah.
And people don't get that. It will tear you up. And it's sad.
People be thinking they have infirmities, and it's really unforgiveness.
Yeah.
Dying from heart attacks and cancer, and they be like, oh, he just got cancer out of nowhere. Like, no, he was battling unforgiveness and did not know.
Hmm. And that's it. And there's nothing else that we can do. If we don't give it to God to take care of, to help us, we going to keep battling with it ourselves. And battling with ourselves is what's going to kill us. And I truly believe, and I really do believe this, if God hadn't took over and hadn't sent me to where he sent me, and that's to evolve, I would probably be dead right now. I would be dead right now. Because I wouldn't be able to move forward. Because I'd still be stuck
Man,
in
stuck,
unforgiveness.
stuck. Y'all ever seen? Well, y'all can't respond to me, but if you ever seen the movie Soul, and it was like the people they went to do something and they got stuck in a thought and they end up in the darkness in a bubble. That is what unforgiveness feel like.
Mm-hmm.
It feel like you stuck in the same moment. You keep living it over and over and
Yeah.
over again, and you can't move forward until you learn to forgive and let it go. You still have those same emotions,
Yeah.
the same thoughts, and then it could be a new day. It could be a completely new life. You can't even enjoy it because you still being bound by your past and the inability to forgive, inability to
Forgive.
forgive.
And
And I know it so well.
yeah. And I had got so bad, I kept my hair long because I didn't want nobody to see the scars in my face. Because I got cut here and the blade went across here. I got a little scar here and this scar here where I got cut just like this across my face. Don't nobody, ain't nobody else gonna want you. All the way across with a blade. Pistol whip across here. Got a scar up here. Got a scar on this side. Kept my hair long with the wrap. Anybody who knows me know I've always had long hair. Always kept a wrap. When did I cut my hair?
It wasn't too long ago.
When I got to Evolve.
I'm like, because when I first seen you
Because I
had hair.
love, yep, and I always wanted short hair because I wanted my smile to show.
No, seriously. And you beautiful, Miss
Mm-hmm.
Jarnetta. Listen, look at her haircut. Like, what are you saying? She walked in there. I said, okay,
Got the
haircut.
mohawk.
Stop
Yeah,
playing with her. Don't play with Miss
heck
Jarnetta,
yeah.
okay?
And it's all the time now. I'm cutting it. I'm letting it grow. I'm cutting it because I'm finally coming from out of the self. I had a very bad self-esteem problem. Very bad. I was ugly. This is how I was thinking. I was ugly. I was fat. Ain't nobody gonna want me. I was dressing like a man, and I always kept on tennis shoes. Guess what? I don't care.
Period.
Because God gonna send me somebody who gonna want me for me.
It is.
And is. And will. And do. So when he do, as long as he send somebody that loves sports, that know that they wife gonna love some sports, we gonna be all right.
And Jesus, too.
Yes, we already know that. I ain't even got to say that.
No,
Lord already.
I gotta say that
Uh,
because it
uh,
might be some
Girl, bye.
and
They know.
Jesus too.
And Jesus too. Jesus. 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 And is.
No, you done
We
that.
don't
I
want no
cannot.
problems.
I
We
cannot.
don't want no problems.
I cannot.
Lord, have mercy. But that's how we gonna do. So I
Anybody else?
just wish people. I wish people will. I feel sorry sometimes.
Yeah.
But God gonna heal you. Cause I know if He healed me with all my ailments that I had, He gonna heal you. I promise you. I promise you. He gonna heal you. Let Him use you. You don't use you. Let Him use you.
Mhm.
There we go.
There we go. Got anything
That's a
else you
word.
want to say?
No.
No. Well, thank y'all for watching. This was me and Miss Jarnetta.
Hey.
I already know this is gonna set somebody free. Send this to y'all mamas, y'all aunties, y'all uncles, y'all grannies, whoever. Send it to your sister, your brother, because I know it's a lot of people that battle with unforgiveness, especially people
Mm-hmm.
who've been raped and their moms left them. Mommy issues, daddy issues,
Huh.
all that. Send that to everybody. Send this to everybody you know and share it and let them
Just an
know.
issue.
Let them know that forgiveness sets you free, man. And so we're gonna end it like that. That's more like it. Thank y'all for watching. We love y'all.
Amen.
Till next time.
Amen.
All right,
Praise
we
the
is
Lord.
done. I think